Rita, Juan, it's good to see you guys again. I know it's been hectic out there, and I know we've been trying to get this meeting together for a while. We are here. Perhaps the delay has given us, put more issues on the tables, things that have either progressed or regressed. So let's deal with those.
So Peters comes in and he starts to minimize my duties. I tell him that I'm the director of advertising and I go down the list of things that I have to do. He sees me answering the phone, so he decides, oh, wow, you answer the phones pretty good. You'd make a good receptionist. Maybe that is an area in which we don't have to hire a receptionist. So I feel insulted, you know what I'm saying? I never got that from you when we were part of the company, and yet I can't connect with you to get the support that I used to get from you. So I feel like I'm out there all alone. I feel like I'm out there all alone dealing with some... I'm going to call him just as it is. He's an idiot, a moron. He's insensitive. And so I'm starting to feel like...
That's pretty nice.
No, I'm really starting to... I'm starting to feel like
ahead.
I'm going to rip through my sick days now. And I was never one to do that because I love coming to work. I was the envy of all my friends because I love my job. And now I'm not feeling that way anymore. And I'm getting very angry about it. And I don't like myself in this position because it's not helping.
Rita, we love your job also. Right. You know how valuable you are to me now and how valuable you have been. The most important thing here is that we communicate effectively and honestly.
That's why we're here.
I want more.
Okay, no, I have a lot more for you.
Things, it just isn't working with Jackson. All of a sudden, he's my partner, you know, and his ideas are just, you know, they're just wacko.
Okay, let's
you know,
hold it for a second.
My clients, you know, have been under my hat for the 5 years. I know their tastes. I know what they like, and all of a sudden, you know, Jackson here is...
They're coming in and they want to flex their authority and they just want to throw out, you do this, you do that.
You're both effective communicators.
It isn't working out. It isn't working out.
It's frustrating.
Would you agree that you're both effective communicators? Yeah, well,
with this group, it's a little tough.
All right, two things come to mind straight away. Is number one, part of this is clearly an issue that's going to go along with any company that merges. No two personalities, no three personalities, no four personalities are guaranteed to get along.
But I'm open to that.
Hold on. What we need to really focus on right now is number one, is you're all four at the exact level organizationally.
Well,
so that you're going to have to take my word for it. That's not an arguable point.
Right.
However, personal issues you're going to have to settle amongst yourselves.
All right. Look,
okay.
Carlos, I think we are both at the point where I don't see any resolution with these two guys.
Nor do I see a future.
Well, if you don't see a future, I'm sad, okay? Well, if you don't see a resolution, that says to me, I also don't see a future, okay? These are personal decisions, okay? The fact of the matter is this, though, is we are here. We understood ahead of time that we were going to be going through a transition. The transition is in place now. The transformation is in place now. It is not the finished product.
I understand that, Carlos, and we went in knowing that. We went in knowing that, and yet, again, as I said, they are not acting as team players. And I have kept my mouth shut, you know, and tried to be as diplomatic and professional as I can, and I'm ready to bolt.
I would be saddened if you did. I'd be truly saddened if you did.
Well, and I think that it's not just me and Juan that is feeling like this. There are quite a few of us that are thinking along these lines, and we've been kind of bringing it to the table of just maybe going off and doing our own thing. I don't know.
You're going to have to make decisions at this point as to...
Well, how do you feel about this?
About losing two long-term...
Well, I mean, the way the company's
actually more.
Been going,
I would say more than two people at this point.
I see it, I'll be honest with you, I see it from a different level is the only word I can think of. And it's not a better or a worse level, it's from a different level. I see it from issues like internal rate of return. I have factored in losing employees, but I never factored in losing you two, okay? In the end, the people who communicate the most effectively, the people who add to the transformation going through are here for the final product. The final product is not here yet. This is part
Tell
of
us something.
change.
Tell us something.
Sure.
Are you not having difficulty with some of these new people that have come on board? Because I'm getting a sense from you. I see a little bit of tension.
I'm having
Right.
difficulty with people that have been with me for 8 or 10 years, that have been with me for longer than yourselves, and I'm having difficulty with from not necessarily from both sides, because there are not two sides. There's one side. So this is one company right now, okay? Is there difficulty in the transformation? Of course there is. And I am here to listen to you. But you have to communicate
Well, we're here doing that, Carlos.
But I
We're
have
really
to be very, 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 very concise in that this is not a just, you know, a preference, that I'd rather have it some other way, that that I'm not happy right now. I know you're not happy.
No, I'm really unhappy.
You second?
I'm really unhappy.
You second that?
Yeah, I second it.
And to your, I mean, I really need to know this right now. And to your view right now, you don't want to see this all the way through to the end.
I think we're ready to go.
Yeah.
Well, your challenge is then this time next week, if not sooner, to let me know what you want to do.
Well,
We know it sooner
we know
than
what
later
we
than
wanna
next
do.
week.
Well, I
We're
think
ready.
That's okay, though.
Yeah, we
thing
know
is,
now.
the thing is, we like you. We've known you a long time.
I can't go with you. I'd love to. I'd love to work with you guys more. I'd love to, and I'd be really, really sad if you left. But you're both over 21, and this is a decision that you need to make. I will tell you ahead of time.
Oh, come on.
Do you really see yourself?
Carlos.
Do you see a future here for yourself?
Really,
I don't know, Carlos.
We
were like a great team
I don't
before.
have to like the way things are going.
Well, of course you
I have
do.
to put. No, I don't.
Yes,
I have
you
to put
do.
my nose to the grindstone and see it through this transformation. In my position in the company, in this transformation stage, it's a positive thing to have come to at least one milestone, to know one thing that is certain, as I am pretty certain that they will be leaving the company. My next action with those two is to begin to draw a circle around their activities within the company, assuming that they're not leaving as they go out the door today. They need to be monitored. The risk that goes along with a departing employee, under any conditions really, needs to be managed from the onset. There will be some fallout customer-wise, as they will try to take customers along with them. However, I can tell you squarely that has been accounted for in determining the transformation of this company. I don't feel that their proposal to me was ethical in this context. They came to me under the pretense that they had problems within the company. I think that this sort of proposal or this sort of discussion is to be held outside the company, is my preference, so that we can so that the veil, the corporate veil that goes along with this sort of discussion, is removed. My reaction to their proposal, positive or negative, would not have been different. The only thing that raises a flag to me about larger personnel issues is that they actually verbalized that there were a lot of people that were unhappy. Another concern that they voiced to me is that I didn't get to them in time. So my job is to make sure that even if I have vocalized that I want open communication, and that everybody has equal footing in my corporation as far as communication goes, is I have to make sure and galvanize that. I mean, I have to go individually and make sure that those channels are open. If it turns out that they're not the results that I want, I have to accept that. Managing the team at large is that entire job is keeping my talent, and to that extent, being able to deliver the product that is based on that talent. Do I care to lose huge talent, large talent? No, I don't. But this isn't a day-to-day stable environment. We knew ahead of time that we would lose some talent. So it's been factored in. No, I don't like to lose talent for any reason. I may have tried harder if I thought that their minds were not made up. It was very clear to me that their minds were made up to the point that they were inviting me along. I recognize that they're adults and that they're going to make decisions. I can't ask them to stay on a personal or emotional basis. I've done everything that I can to make this merger as smooth as I can. This is the unstable part of it. This is the unrecognizable, unstable part of it. Could I have made a bigger effort to keep those employees? I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but I'm very convinced that they were leaving, regardless of what efforts I could have made. What made part of the decision very, very easy is not to struggle as far as their termination goes, was that these folks were not going to be effective operators in my operation to affect getting from where we were to where we want to be. They may walk in and Monday morning and say, we've changed our minds. I can tell you statistically, however, that there is a 60% chance they will no longer be with the company 30 days later.